So yeah, thank you for everyone who did that. I really hope you can't hear them vacuuming. I have men in my apartment right now. We're just gonna keep on going. Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. How cool is that? Before I get way into this video, I just wanted to say a quick thank you for everyone who liked, commented, subscribed, followed, all that stuff on my last video. It really means the world to me. I was so scared to start this channel and it felt really awkward putting myself out there. I'm sure that if you have a YouTube channel, you totally understand that, or maybe you don't have one because you totally understand that. So thank you so much to everyone who is just supporting me. I got some of the sweetest messages on Instagram. I have so much support from my family and friends, so thank you. Really makes me happy. Today's video is going to be kind of like a tips and tricks video to strengthen your application. If you recently got NLIC'd for this last Disney College Program season, if you don't know what NLIC means, that is no longer in consideration, which is basically your rejection email from Disney. It's really sad, it'll break your heart. I know how it feels to get NLIC because the last season that I applied for, which was fall 2018, I got NLIC. I actually only did my initial application and I didn't even get to the web-based interview. I'm making this video because I made some really great changes to my application since that season and I got in the second time around. So this is to help anyone who is looking to apply for the Disney College Program or reapply. So if that pertains to you, keep on watching. So I basically have 3 main tips to help you strengthen your application, or like I said, just make it really, really great for the first time you apply to the DCP. And yeah, so my first tip is to include as many different job experiences as you can. And your job experience actually technically don't even have to be actual jobs. You can include volunteer experience or after school activities or like leadership positions, something like that, where you can list off a couple of responsibilities and a couple of skills. Those are going to be the 2 things that Disney's going to want from you: responsibilities and skills. And other than that, you really don't have a lot to put on your initial application other than general background information like your name, how old you are, what school you go to, all of that stuff. Your initial application is actually where you're going to be able to sell yourself the most, I think, other than your phone interview. But if you don't pass the initial application, you won't get a phone interview. So the initial application is possibly the most important part of the process because it's what gets your foot in the door with Disney. You know what I'm saying? Good. So, for example, on my last application, I only had 2 job experiences. Like I said, it's not bad to only have 2 jobs. Just the more jobs you have, the more versatile you are, and therefore the more jobs Disney can offer you. So that time I didn't get in, but this time I had 5 different experiences. 5 is the maximum of experiences you can put on your initial application for Disney. So I filled all 5 with volunteer stuff, some high school stuff, my actual jobs, things like that, to just make me a stronger candidate and seem like I can be in multiple different positions. Alright, so my second tip for how to improve your application or just do really great the first time is to be specific in your examples of your responsibilities and skills. Sorry, I'm looking down. I can't remember my own tips. I'm actually going to read you guys what I put on my very first application for Disney that did not get through to the web-based interview, just so you guys have an idea of that one versus my newer one that got me into the program. I'll read that to you too, so you can kind of see the comparison of how I wasn't very specific the first time and how I was a lot more specific the second time. I am going to read you what I put for merchandise since that's the role I got, so I'm assuming that that's probably the section of my application that Disney probably liked the most, maybe. I don't know how they choose people or their roles, but I just know that this probably caught their eyes. For my past merchandise experience, I actually worked on a military base. I worked at basically like a retail store because my dad is retired Navy, so I'm technically a military dependent. Fun fact about me. Cool. So under responsibilities, I wrote, I operate a cash register while providing customer service to various members of the military. I also handled cash and credit card payments efficiently while maintaining a certain amount of money at the end of every shift. Often I would also stock shelves and handle customer returns. Before every purchase, I was required to check military identification cards. Now, this isn't bad. I just think that I could have been a lot more specific and I could have mentioned things that would impress Disney more, perhaps. This was also written in a paragraph, and looking back, I just don't suggest writing in paragraph format on the DCP app because I think Disney just wants to quickly and succinctly get an idea of your experience without having to like search in a paragraph for the information they're looking for. So for my most recent application, under responsibilities, I said, handling cash and credit card payments efficiently, standing for extended periods of time, approaching customers and providing information. For skills, I put computer and cash register proficient, speaking in front of large crowds, multitasking, familiar with fast-paced environments, stocking shelves, and ability to follow directions. You see, that was very specific and you got an idea of what I was doing, and it was short and easy to read and fast to read. So I would definitely suggest bullet points and just really short snippets, but very specific at the same time. I hope that made sense. And for my third main tip to strengthen your application for the Disney College Program, I would suggest using Disney language. This is so important because I really think that it catches Disney's eyes. I think that it's really impressive, and I think that it makes you already sound like the kind of employee that Disney wants, and that's obviously what you want to do with your application. So by using Disney language, I mean going to the Disney College Program website. I'll put the link down below in case you can't find it for some reason, I don't know, but I'll put it below so you can find it. And it will have a description of every single role that the Disney College Program offers. And what I suggest you doing is looking at what responsibilities they have listed for the role, and use similar language when you talk about your job skills, especially if you want a very specific role. Like merchandise was one of my very top roles, so I looked at what they wanted from their merchandise cast members and I'm like, oh, I can do this, I can do that, I can do that, and I would put very similar language into my other application to just make it very obvious that I am well trained and prepared for a role in merchandise. Another thing about Disney language is that Disney has 4 specific keys. Technically, when you apply, you're not supposed to know about the keys, but everyone knows about the keys now. If you don't know what the keys are, they're basically just very important words that Disney takes seriously. That's all I'm gonna say to explain that. I haven't actually been to training. Anyway, you want to mention the 4 keys. If you can't mention all 4, that's okay. You can mention 3 or 2 or 1. I think I only mentioned 3 in my application and I still did okay. The 4 Disney keys are efficiency, show, courtesy, and safety. So you want to say something about those because those are the 4 words that Disney takes very seriously in their roles. So as you heard when I read off my application, I said that I answered phone calls courteously. In one of my other roles, I was a camp counselor for the Autism Society, so I talked about safety a lot. You just have to, use those words to your advantage. Like I said, don't force the words in. If they don't actually apply to your job, that's okay, but if they do, then use it. I think that efficiency could probably be used in any job. I think that safety could be used in a lot of different jobs, and courtesy, because you want to be nice to customers, and that's what Disney wants. So definitely mention the 4 keys somehow in some of your skills or responsibilities. Don't overdo it because, like I said, you're not technically supposed to know about them, I guess. I don't know how that works. But yeah, mention the 4 keys. So that's actually all of the tips that I have for this video. If you really enjoyed these tips and found them helpful, please let me know. If you want to see more tips about the application process, like a web-based interview video or a phone interview video, I actually recorded my phone interview, so if you want to hear that, definitely leave a comment and let me know. I just know that there's a lot of videos like that on YouTube already, so I didn't know if some of you would be sick of seeing that, and I don't know. So if you're interested, definitely let me know. I have plenty of tips. I have plenty of, just anything that you want to see about the application process at all. I hope this was helpful. Thank you guys so much again for all the support on my last video. If you guys didn't see it, definitely check it out. It's a DCP tag, so you know a little bit more about me and about what I'm going to be doing this spring on the Disney College Program. So look at that. Yeah, that's all I have to say for this video. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!